Okay, think about this for a second. You have a country with over 240 million people, where just getting a simple government document can mean weeks of navigating a total maze of paperwork and endless queues. Now imagine that same country is on the brink of a digital revolution, with a seriously bold plan to put all of its government services right into your palm of your hand. That's the ambitious vision we're digging into today, Pakistan's digital blueprint for a 21st century government.
So this slide really lays it all out, doesn't it? It shows the huge difference between the old way and the new vision. On one hand, you've got the system as it is now, slow, manual, kind of a black box, which, let's be honest, is a perfect recipe for inefficiency and corruption. But on the other hand, you have the future they're aiming for, a government that's always on, totally transparent by its very design, and reachable by pretty much anyone with a smartphone. This isn't just about a tech upgrade. It's a complete reimagining of the relationship between the government and its people.
So the big question is, how do you actually build this new digital state? Well, the whole strategy is built on four crucial foundational pillars. Let's break them down. First up, pillar number one. This is all about making life easier for you, the citizen. Just imagine being able to renew your driver's license, pay your property taxes, or even register a new business right from your phone without ever having to step foot in a government office. That's the whole idea behind the mobile-first approach. It's about using the fact that so many people in Pakistan have smartphones to bring these essential services to everyone, everywhere, at any time. The second pillar is all about making the government smarter. See, instead of just reacting to problems after they've already happened, the goal here is to use real-time data and even artificial intelligence to predict and prevent them. For instance, AI could analyze public health data to spot a potential disease outbreak before it turns into an epidemic. Or it could optimize traffic flow in a huge city based on live data from sensors. It's really about shifting from just cleaning up messes to actually getting ahead of them. Pillar 3, well, this one is a full-on assault on corruption, which has been one of the biggest roadblocks to Pakistan's development. The plan is to use technologies like blockchain to create a secure, transparent, and, this is the key part, unchangeable record of all government transactions. Think of it like a digital public notebook that's shared and verified by a whole network of computers, making it basically impossible for anyone to secretly change the data. This could be an absolute game changer in areas like land registries and public contracts, where corruption can be a huge problem. And finally, the fourth pillar is all about giving citizens a real voice. It's about moving away from that old top-down system where the government just makes decisions to something way more collaborative. This means creating official digital channels where people can not only file complaints or give feedback, but also actively get involved in making policy. I mean, the government could use these channels to crowdsource ideas for new laws or get feedback on a draft bill before it's even passed. Okay, so that all sounds pretty good in theory, right? But what does it actually look like when the rubber meets the road? Let's do a deep dive into one of the most notoriously corrupt systems in Pakistan, land registration, and see how this new digital model could completely transform it. The core technology that makes this possible is the smart contract. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a digital vending machine for transactions. You put in your payment, you make your selection, and the machine automatically gives you what you bought. In the case of a land transfer, the payment is the money for the property, and the selection is the digital signature from the buyer and seller. As soon as those conditions are met, boom, the smart contract automatically executes the ownership transfer. There's no need for a human middleman who could demand a bribe or mess with the records. And this is where the real genius of the system comes into play. It's the teamwork between AI and blockchain. It's a two-stage security process that basically builds a fortress around the land registry. So first, you see step one. AI acts like a super smart gatekeeper. It analyzes all the incoming data, checking identities, and flagging anything that looks sketchy before it can even get into the system. Then, once everything is validated, step 2 kicks in. Blockchain locks that transaction in, creating a permanent, tamper-proof record. It's this amazing 1-2 punch that could, potentially knock out land-related corruption for good. Of course, a transformation this huge is never easy. The vision is incredible, but the path to get there is absolutely filled with some pretty significant real-world challenges. But let's be realistic. A change of this scale is never a walk in the park. And in a country like Pakistan, the hurdles are pretty substantial. You've got the digital divide, right? A big part of the population, especially in rural areas, still doesn't have reliable internet or the skills to use these new digital tools. Then there's this deep-rooted institutional inertia. Basically, resistance from government officials who are used to the old paper-based system, either because they benefit from it or maybe they're just wary of the unknown. And on top of all that, you've got technical and legal gaps, a shortage of cybersecurity experts to protect the system, and laws that are just outdated, written for an era before any of this was possible. So to get around all these complex hurdles, the plan isn't to just flip a switch overnight. No, it's a carefully structured, decade-long roadmap that's broken down into much more manageable phases. Okay, so to tackle all this, the plan is broken down into this very careful, decade-long roadmap. The first phase, running until 2028, is all about laying the foundation, building the core tech, passing new data protection laws, and training a new generation of digital-savvy public servants. This is the groundwork everything else will be built on. Then, we move to the second phase, until 2032. This is the transformation phase, where the government will start rolling out those services that people will actually use, starting with the ones that will make the biggest impact. And finally, the last phase, up to 2035, is all about optimization, using all that data they've collected to constantly improve services and make them truly proactive. So when you really boil it all down, this quote just absolutely nails the core idea behind this entire project. It's not just about putting old paper forms online. It's about a fundamental shift in where power lies, moving it away from the random decisions of individual officials and toward the transparent, predictable, and auditable logic of computer code. It's about building a government that's truly accountable to its citizens, and not the other way around. So, Pakistan's digital governance blueprint is an incredibly ambitious plan to leapfrog into the 21st century. It's a vision for a government that's more efficient, more transparent, and more responsive. The technology's there, the roadmap is there, but the ultimate success of this whole thing will depend on something you just can't program: the political will to actually see it through and a real cultural shift towards accountability. Which leaves us with the final and most critical question: can a system built on code truly overcome a culture of corruption?